Good evening, and welcome to this week's session of Once Upon a Roll Eden. Last we left off, the group had commandeered a ship from the Yuan Ti slavers, doing battle across the deck of the ship, tossing many Yuan Ti overboard into the quicksand sea, and taking off, navigating through the seas with the aid of a recently amenable Yuan Ti navigator. Over the next few days, you all got used to the ship, the crew. Duran, you spent a lot of time behind the helm, learning how to, or getting the feel for how to steer the ship. When one early morning, it was made evident that your navigator had made some miscalculations and had accidentally steered you into fairly dangerous sands. When a large avian creature, a monstrous rock, swooped down from the skies and attacked the ship, threatening to snap it apart, you guys took up arms. Took to the skies yourselves with either Pegasus, Gildy, or your Phoenix form. You dispatched of the rock, and after you did, not much time passed before shock was sent through the ship itself, sending most of you staggering through the ship at near the bow and the stern. Large, writhing tentacles pierced through the hole in the wood, sending splinters of it everywhere. Moments after, they retracted down again into the ship itself, and just enough for you guys to right yourself and feel the changing of the ship, the listing, the pulling of the sands as thousands of pounds of sands have begun to be displaced as more tentacles began to appear, ending with the appearance of this large, gargantuan, monstrous sand kraken. The tentacles come back up, and again over the bow and stern, they now drape over and clench onto it, the ship creaking and groaning in agony as the tentacles begin to squirm and grip and squeeze tighter. Right now, you guys are on a ship gripped in the grasp of two of these monstrous tentacles. The ship itself is listing, leaning, such that you guys are angled down so that when you look over the bow of the ship below you, over the rails of the ship below you, you can see the sort of split into four monstrous beak of this kraken. It opens its mouth and screeches horribly at you. You see rows of circular teeth. The saliva that it spews from this roar impacts and pings off of the side of the ship, and under your feet you can actually feel the impact of this gargantuan creature's saliva. That's about where we are. Can everyone please roll initiative? And if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. By the way, I'm not sure if you saw it, everybody, but I sent you the stat block for the ship itself. The ship's actions are actions that you can take on your turn in lieu of a normal action.
12.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
Uh, 16.
Okay. So, first up, we have Durant. As you get your footing and right yourself, you kind of have to shift your weight to your back foot and lean back a bit to adjust for the new angle of the ship as the sands below have become turbulent. You can feel the ship creaking and vibrating beneath your ship due from all of the impacts of the tentacles, the squeezing of the each end of the ship, threatening to split the ship in two. What are you doing?
Okay, so
other than
there's
the two on the two on the tops here are actually wrapped and coiled around the ship. Other than that, you can see four others of these large tentacles, about maybe 40, 50 feet tall, at least from the surface of the sand itself where they come through, and they're on either side. The full scope and scale of this kraken, this monstrous entity, is hard to fathom at this moment, and you're not exactly going to spend too much time thinking about it right now.
I guess I'd want to attack if I'm nearby one of the tentacles that are kind of like gripping the ship.
Okay, you could run up one of the stairs. The one that you're closest to is this one over here where his side is near, and that's where the helm of the ship is as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Let me do that.
So 30 feet is there, and yes, yeah. You would be within range. The tentacles are quite massive. And those are laid across the deck. You could see where the wooden railing of the ship has been splintered and crushed. You can see where the divots, where there's now like the crushing force of the tentacle is being applied, and you're occasionally being peppered with the splinters of the wooden planks that are being dislodged and broken through. What you do?
Um. Yeah, let me just attack. Okay, so let's see here.
Sick of these motherfucking tentacles on my motherfucking ship.
The first one is 22.
That does hit, yes.
Is 13.
13 points of damage?
Yeah.
Okay. How much lightning?
Oh, shit. It's gonna be history. Is it? Oh my god. One was 5, one was 2, one was 1. I think blue dice was 5. Blue dice is a 6. So the D6 so was a 5. So it was 5. Pretty sure.
Okay. So as you go down with your sword and you strike and you cut a little bit, like a tiny sliver, the kraken itself doesn't even seem to react to the damage. The sparks and the electricity from that dance from the edge of your blade seem to be repelled by the kraken's hide. It doesn't seem to take any effect.
Holy hell, okay.
So you can see you did cut it open a bit, maybe not even enough at the moment to even get through the outer layer of its skin, but it did take damage, just seemingly little or none from the lightning.
Yeah, I got you. Bonus? No, it's not. Alright, I have no choice. Let me...
Right? So second attack?
Yeah, let me do the second attack. This one is 19.
That does hit.
3, 4, 8. Another fucking 13. But the lightning is 4.
Okay, so 9 points of damage. Don't count the lightning. Immune to. So.
Oh, the lightning is okay. So I'm not even gonna use the dice. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was just 9.
All right. You have bonus action now. 2 strikes down at the long sword. The tentacle doesn't even flinch. If anything, it grips the stern of the ship even tighter.
What are my bonuses here? That's a weird interaction, I guess. I'm just thinking about it now. Like, blinding smite on a tentacle of the monster. That's like, does that? What?
And does blinding smite give you an attack? It does it?
Well, I was thinking of like what I, because I'm looking at my bonus actions, and obviously my smites are bonus actions, so it just hit me, and I'm like, oh, what if I do blinding smite on a tentacle? I don't know. It's weird.
That is
because like it doesn't make any sense.
Like, what is the optics of what do you see as like the optics of blinding smite? You know, that's my question, I guess. Like, your blade shines like super bright for a moment, and it, you know, or does it inject them with a poison that causes blindness? Like, what is?
I mean, the first thing you said makes the most sense.
A tentacle does not have eyes. A tentacle is not blinded. A tentacle is not the thing doing the seeing. With like anything else, obviously, it's not like you have to hit it in its eyes. But this is such a gargantuan creature that I would say to blind it, if it is even susceptible to that, you would have to hit the
body. The actual thing. Okay, gotcha. I don't have any bonus actions. Oh wait, actually, would I still have Shield of Faith? Has it been?
Did you lose
10 minutes?
Has it been 10 minutes? It has not been 10 minutes.
Okay, all right.
I feel like the only one you dropped was the compelled duel on the rock. So you would still have Shield of Faith. It's still within 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. You've got like 7 minutes left.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, no, that's all I could do for now.
Okay. Next up is Gildy.
What can my homie do?
You should like move the dragon up and down like its wings, or the dragon out, so like its wings are beating.
The rocking of the ship.
Give me animation. Oh.
Yeah, amazing.
It's Gildy's turn.
Let me see. I mean, I don't think there's a lot I could do. It's not even looking that good, but
there we go. Look at him. Look at Gildy go. He's waiting. This is like old style RPG. Like, this is the character who turned
idle animation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's well, he probably can. Can you reach the other side of the tentacle that I'm trying to hit and attack that?
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, he can.
Okay, perfect. Then
go ahead and
try
roll to hit.
Whacking.
I'll say that, advantage for flanking, I guess. Technically speaking, maybe.
Fuck this tentacle.
I don't know. Should it get advantage for flanking? Because it's like if something can attack my finger, If something's on either side, I can still see both the things on either side, right? You're not technically flanking the Kraken. Both of you are still in front of the Kraken.
That's funny. That's very true.
You're just flanking the tentacle.
You're just flanking the. No, I've convinced myself. Straight roll, no advantage.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
It's
sense. I
flanking
agree.
the tentacle, but the tentacle doesn't have the eyes, so.
Yeah, the tentacle's not the thing that is like, oh shit. Ah!
Okay. It doesn't matter because he did good. The first one. Hit is 22.
That does hit.
And then the day. Bro, how Kildy gonna do more damage than me?
He might not.
That is 14.
14. Gildy
6
goes
and a
down
5.
and goes to rake and talon claw at the tentacle of the Kraken. To no effect. Doesn't even pierce through its skin.
What the hell?
It is immune to non-magical damage.
Oh.
And I do not believe a Dragonel's attacks are magical. So
No.
that's what I was looking up.
Just freaking.
Learning a lot though. You're learning stuff.
Wait.
so that's good.
But he
What's
is
up?
made of magic.
Does
That's the question. What the hell?
does the spell? I mean, technically speaking, if you were polymorphed into a T-Rex, you would be made of magic as well, right? That doesn't make the T-Rex's attacks magical. If the Find Greater Steed spell specifies that your summoned mount's attacks count as magical, then it would be okay. If not, gonna have to go with the stat block of whatever creature you summoned. And I do not think that it does.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything here about it. Okay, yeah, no magic.
No. Made of magic, not necessarily magical in and of itself. Which I guess, if I could conjure up like a fork or something, that doesn't make it.
Do magic damage.
Yeah. Alright. Is that Gildy's turn?
He has leftover movement.
Let's see. He was about there, so he would have about, I'd say, 15 feet of movement.
Just move him kind of towards the center of the ship.
Okay. Gildy, no! Like, still flying above it, or do you want him to be, like...
Still flying above it. I'm gonna have to try to, depending on what happens, see what fancy stuff I can try to make him do. Isn't attacking.
Okay. Gildy's not agreeing with me right now. Let's put him there. He's snuggling up with the Kraken, why not? Elevorn's hiding him, but he's behind Elevorn. You can see him. That brings us to Neridion.
Fun!
Actually, that brings us to the Kraken's legendary action.
Fun! Even more fun!
The tentacle that you were attacking, Thran, grips and squeezes tighter. You can feel the boat splintering beneath your feet, and the ship itself takes... Hold on. 48 points of bludgeoning damage. Now it is Neridion's turn.
Uh, this is hard.
Just go for Kraken.
Just tentacles.
Cool.
The tentacles, they're bad. We're on quicksand, so I think I'm gonna run downstairs because
Okay. What are you doing? So first off, you get downstairs and you can hear shouts and cries of agony as the jostling and of the ship. You can see it has sort of forced some of the large cargo crates free from their bonds, and you see some of the people that were down there earlier, some of the two former slaves as well as some bandits, and you can see that some of them are on the ground kind of groaning and just now kind of shaking the cobwebs out and getting to their feet. One of them is pinned from the chest down by a large heavy crate against the side of the ship and is currently just kind of but you get down there and you can see that like a lot of stuff has been tossed and tumbled and people are just now trying to get back up.
There's one tentacle on, like, one at the stern and one at the what is
So
it
you know,
called?
like I said before, they're not going through the ship anymore. They went through, they came back down, and they then wrapped around. So they're coming out of the sand outside of the boat and wrapping around. If that changes what you wanted to do, then we can redact the movement.
Yeah, then I go to the tentacle that's at the stern, I think.
The other one?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember if I used immolation. I think I used flare already on that rock.
You did use flare, you did not use immolation.
Okay, then I'm gonna use the immolation on the tentacle.
Go for it. We'll see if you hit first.
Yeah. $17.
17 does not hit, unfortunately. As you go down to stab, it rides a bit, the ship jostles, and your aim is just slightly off. Your dagger hits, but not with the precision or force that you wanted it. It just kind of skirts off the tentacle. Some of the quicksand and the wet sand from below had been brought up by it, and it makes the deck a little bit slick and slippery. But you still have bonus action if you want.
Yes, I do. Well, I guess I'll try to use Shadow Plate on it.
Go for it.
Yeah, 14, that's not gonna hit.
No. Alright. Is that your turn?
For now, yes.
Alright. Pegasus.
Maybe I'll just have the Pegasus hang around at the side of the ship, just in case if somebody seems to fall off, so it's gonna be ready to catch them.
Which side? Your Pegasus would have enough movement to get to either side. Kraken side or non-Kraken side?
Non-Kraken side.
Okay, so right now your Pegasus is, I would say maybe about 20 feet away from another one of the tentacles.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know where it is.
Yeah. Well.
Just letting you know.
It's gonna get closer to the ship. You know, be ready.
Okay, so the Pegasus kind of gallops in the air back and just kind of hovers near and above the listing ship right now, just on watch for anyone who needs rescuing, potentially. Alright. At the end of your turn, another legendary action from the Kraken. This time, a tentacle comes down towards you, Durand. But Gildy ends up flying like towards and around, just getting in between, so the attack is going to target Gildy instead. And that is a 29 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, so Gildy takes 23 points of bludgeoning damage and is grappled and restrained by the tentacle. So the golden dragonel's wings pinned to its side, it just screeches out in surprise and pain, but then sort of grits its teeth as it attempts to wriggle and writhe its way out to no avail at the moment. But that's that legendary action done. Elevorn, it is your turn.
Okay, so it's not looking great.
What are you talking about?
This is perfect. No, could I Starfall and hit tentacles and the Kraken?
What is the range of Starfall?
It is 60 feet.
Depends. There are areas where you would. It depends on what tentacles you're trying to hit.
Well, from both on the ship, at least. So, I mean, maybe
you
just
would
3
probably
tentacles.
have to fly. Yeah, you'd have to be towards the center.
Okay.
Alright, and you want to fly lower or higher?
That's like what, half my movement right now?
So let's see.
Because it's 90 feet.
That's about 30 feet.
Okay, good.
Yeah, 30 feet if you're in the air, yeah.
So I just want to be there for right now to do this, the Starfall thingy, if I can.
Sure.
And can I how far? I can't tell how far out the Kraken body is. Is it more than 60 feet?
Not from where you are right now, no.
Okay, great. So I'm going to target his weird tentacle face thing going on there, and the tentacles on the boat.
Okay.
And they have to make a dex saving throws and beat a 16.
Alright, so I'll roll for the tentacles first. Tentacle number 1, the one near Nerdian, is an 8. Tentacle number 2, the one near Durand, is a 13. And the Kraken is a 15.
None of them save.
Alright, go for it.
It is 19 points of damage.
19. Alright.
Rating, I think. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I'm going to go over back over where I was, and just kind of, just kind of hang out where that tentacle is. Just kind
one
of in
near
its
Durand?
face. Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to like fly through it and make it all.
Yeah.
friendly.
Yeah, go ahead and deal that damage.
Well, that's 5.
5 points of radiant damage. Okay.
Could I get to the other side of it so that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, with 90 feet, that would be like 30, 30 again, and then 30 more to get there, right?
Okay, sounds good.
Ron,
Oh,
stop
no.
trying to keep me out.
I'm not trying. It's not on purpose.
Okay, I am okay. Am I okay? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Next up is the Kraken's turn. Durand, Neredian, Elevorn, you all can see or sense this large, like, sort of the sound of a deep sort of sound of wind. And Neredian, your cloak, Durand, any part of you that's cloth, you feel it whipping towards the side of the where the Kraken is, and you can see it seems to be inhaling deeply, so much so that it is beginning to draw in elements of your clothes, and you can feel a breeze coming through. Then, with one loud roar, it exhales this stream of sand straight towards the center, over the top of the ship. And I would need, well, I guess the bandits, Tick Tick, and the Pegasus to make a dexterity saving throw. As the center of the ship just becomes engulfed in basically a localized heavy-duty sandstorm.
$29? No, 21.
Wait, 21? Okay.
Yeah, 21.
29? What are you
Yeah,
talking
I was like,
about?
what the heck? My brain was thinking 29.
All right,
for
so
some
21.
reason.
That is a fail. So everything fails. So everything there takes 17 points of bludgeoning damage and are knocked back 10 feet. So Tick Tick and one of the bandits goes overboard.
The Pegasus is there though, so.
Well, it says knocked prone, so your Pegasus does begin to fall.
Oh yeah, the Pegasus too. Oh.
Yeah, so the Pegasus, how far, let's see, how far up was the Pegasus? I think that, yeah,
Yeah, it was pretty close.
it was pretty close to the ground. I would say go ahead and, since it does have some time between going prone, it is falling, but let's see if it can catch itself. Go to make an acrobatics check for the Pegasus.
So that would be. Acrobatics is dex, so that would be +2 for it. That's another 21.
Okay, in this case, I would say that your Pegasus would be able to kind of right itself after being surprised, blindsided by this sand, and kind of like it's galloping on water for a moment, just kind of skirting with and touching with its hooves the edge of the quicksand. It does manage to right itself and take to the sky. It's about now, we'll say, about 10 feet off of the surface of the quicksand. As this happens, you guys don't see exactly what happens because of the blinding nature of the sand stream itself, but once that attack ends, you now notice the center of the ship where there were people before, now there are not. And Hasside, who has since been struggling with the wheel, trying to right the ship itself and get out of this sort of turbulent area, to no avail, since the ship itself is being gripped by the two massive tentacles of the Kraken. Tick Tick! That's it. That is the Kraken's turn. Actually, we'll say that the tentacles do move around a bit. And now, it is the bandit's turn. Hassad is going to try to make a strength check to at least right the orientation of the ship. That's comped. That's a natural 20. So fueled by, whether it be adrenaline, fear, anything, he manages to slowly power the wheel back, and you slowly begin to feel the ship slightly righting itself against the downward force of this listing nature. The other bandits are down below, some of them struggling with other things. One of them, he gets up to his feet, takes out his bow, shoots at the Kraken, doesn't hit. Waterstone runs over to the side, looks down towards Tick Tick, who roll checks for those in quicksand. No, neither of them, or both of them impact the quicksand and are beginning to be taken by the bandit quicker than Tick Tick, because Tick Tick's body is lighter. But Waterstone, in whatever disjointed mimicry language that she has, is just kind of trying to shout down towards Tick Tick, though the creaks of the ship itself are kind of drowning out her voice. And at the end of the bandit's turn, the Kraken will take a legendary action. One of the tentacles is going to lash out towards Elevorn. And that is a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad. You take 16 points of bludgeoning damage. And as it wraps around you, you temporarily go into this mist form and sort of re-solidify. Being immune to grapple as you are in this form, you are not grappled nor restrained.
How much damage was it? Sorry.
16.
Okay.
And that brings us back to you, Durand. So currently, so you know, all of the sails are raised since you guys wanted to avoid damage by the rock. I believe that the hoops are extended but not active. And currently you are obviously being held and restrained by the Kraken on either end of the ship. So you're not sure if it's due to the Kraken dragging you down or if something happened with the ship below decks, but you do feel like, just based on your perspective over time, the ship is slowly moving downward. It is your turn, Durand.
Fuck it. Gonna try to vanish.
Wait, what?
Vanish.
Banish. What is your spell say? What check is it?
Familiar with this? Done on me. Yeah, it's charisma 15, which I don't know how you want to do it, but maybe it has less, depending on how you want to rule that.
Maybe it has less what?
The whole aura of resolve thing or the core penalty?
Oh. What is the penalty? Roll
The D4.
16 plus 3, so 19. So I don't think it doesn't have a chance to get below 15. But I'll say, yeah, sure. Minus 3, so 16. Is its charisma save. So you momentarily reach for it, grab the pendant of Bahamut, extend your will and Bahamut's divine power sense through you, and for a moment there's this light shimmering of divine energy that begins to sort of outline not only the tentacle in front of you, but eventually you see it outlining the entire Kraken itself before it snaps and the Kraken remains. I was just gonna banish away all my big bad guys. That was
it's a minute. It's just to try to fucking.
You guys can get far away. You guys can get far in a minute.
And it's definitely not ideal because, like you mentioned, the sails are raised and the things aren't on. So if that was on, then that'd be an entirely different thing.
Well, yeah, I would suggest maybe you guys start talking. You guys got bandits, a whole crew around that you know from Guildy's attacks, their weapons are probably not very useful. You are right there near her side. It's up to you. It's all you. It's all your choice. If not, you have bonus action.
Yeah, but I can't do anything.
Is that your turn then?
I mean, God, it would get an attack.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Duen, or rather, Guildy. Guildy's turn as he is wrapped up with a tentacle.
Just try to break free.
All right, go ahead and make athletics or acrobatics check. Your choice. Is that a good exasperated sigh or a bad exasperated sigh?
A general's die. It's 12.
No, Guildy is still locked in the grasp of one of the Kraken's many tentacles. So that's its action. I don't know if Guildy has a bonus action or not.
No.
For its movement, it spent its turn writhing around in its space. And that brings us to Duen. Your turn again.
Well, I'm gonna try to use immolation on it again.
Okay.
$22.
22 hits.
it needs to make a DC 14 dex save.
Let's see if it does. 13 plus 4 is 17.
So then it takes half of the damage.
Yep, so go ahead and roll.
At least it still takes damage.
Yeah.
Well,
go ahead and roll your dagger damage, fire damage. What's up?
Could it still take the minus D4?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's see. So it's 17. It needs a 4 on the D4
The 4,
to fail.
right?
Yeah. Let's see. That's a 1.
Okay.
So that's total of 26 of the fire damage, which is halved.
So 13 fire, and how much from the dagger?
Eight points of damage from the dagger.
Okay, so 21 total. Alright. Definitely seems to feel you can see parts of the tentacle, the flesh around where you hit it do begin to sort of singe and burn and smolder, but it is a very small part of the creature in comparison to even this one tentacle as a whole, and it does not loosen its grip on the ship at all.
But dingus.
You see the tentacle, it does twitch and writhe, and for a moment it does seem like it might have slackened its grip again, but it quickly re-solidifies its grip on the ship. You get a feeling that there is, if you do enough, you might be able to get it to release. And that wasn't quite enough.
Yeah. Well, Shadow Blade.
Go for it.
$19.
That does hit.
Ooh. Haha.
Haha. Unfortunately, no one's up here for sneak attack. You're all alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't do anything for that, so like, 2d8. Six points of damage.
Okay. Bonus action. Well, that was your bonus action. Anything else? Or is that your turn? Movement. I would say that.
No, I'm not gonna move yet.
Okay, so you probably wouldn't have to worry about the tentacle that is wrapped around the ship lashing out towards you, and if it does, then it let go of the ship. So I mean, it's your call.
Yeah. Well, not yet.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the Kraken is going to use its second legendary action.
What about the Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus, yes. Well, it is the end of your turn. The Pegasus is a different turn. So it gets to use legendary actions at the end of the creature's turn. Drand, one of the tentacles that had moved as from kind of in front of the Kraken, between the Kraken and the ship, come from behind you, is going to lash out and attack you. That is a 36 to hit.
That hits.
Does 36 hit? Okay.
Yep.
Just checking. So you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage as you are snatched off the ship and you're now hoisted in the air. You're currently about 20 feet off of the deck of the ship, kind of just being grasped and held aloft above that.
My Constitution Concentration check
Saving
is
Saving throw. But yeah.
20.
You are still shielded by your faith. Pegasus' turn.
It was Tick Tick that was in the
Yeah, you
quicksand.
got Tick Tick and a bandit.
It's gonna go try to rescue Tick Tick.
Okay. I'll say it swoops down towards Tick Tick, who is currently in the process of sinking down ever so slowly, but still the Pegasus comes down, and I will say that go ahead and roll a strength check for the Pegasus as Tick Tick grabs onto the hooves of the Pegasus, and the Pegasus beats its wings hard, trying to wrest Tick Tick free. So I will use Tick Tick as well, and let's see what the Pegasus rolls.
19.
19. Tick Tick, not so strong, but the Pegasus does manage to get Tick Tick up and out, and the Pegasus begins to fly up with a insectoid creature dangling from its hooves. Ron, stop falling! Alright.
Duran doesn't want to be on the ship.
Yeah, he's like, get me out.
I'm not even on the ship.
He's in the tentacle.
Yeah.
Grasped by the tentacle. Okay. Okay. So I would say that was about 25 feet of the Pegasus' movement. Where is it going? Is it bringing Tick Tick back to the ship?
Yeah.
Going somewhere else? Alright.
To the ship.
Swoops in, drops Tick Tick back down on the ship, right in front of the Kraken again. And I would say at that point, with 90 feet, it would still have about 25, 30 feet of movement left.
Yeah, it's gonna go try to save the other one then.
Alright, so its action was to bring it out, so it goes down part way through. It doesn't get as far down as to actually be within reach, but it's well on its
trying.
way there. Yeah. Gotcha. Rescue Pegasus. Okay. Is that the end of the Pegasus' turn?
Yes.
Alright, Elavorn. Phoenixvorn. Lunarvorn, it is your turn. Dun dun dun. Elavorn. Elavorn.
Hi.
It's your turn.
Okay, great.
I don't know when you left, but Durand is currently grappled by a tentacle. Tick Tick has been rescued.
The Pegasus was finishing its movement after it picked up Tick Tick.
Okay, so you didn't miss anything. It's your turn.
I'm going to multi-attack the tentacle that is... am I? Yeah, I guess the one that's holding Gildy. I'm going to multi-attack it.
Okay. Go for it.
So that is... 22 to hit, and 25 to hit.
Both hit. Free the guildie. Maybe.
So that is 10 with the beak.
Okay.
Uh, 15 with the talons, and then I would like to radiant burst it too.
Okay, so that's 25 so far. Go for it.
That's another 24 points of damage.
Okay. So
And
another
then can I
24.
fly through it too, if it doesn't work out?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Well, that's only like 3 points of damage.
Okay. So with this flurry of the Luna Phoenix's beak talons and moving into the creature's space and burning, singeing it with this blinding burst of radiant energy, the tentacle itself, like the Kraken had just touched like a hot stove, instantly recoils and ends up releasing Gildy.
And I'm going to screech with like urgency, like, get him. But I'm a phoenix, so I can't like, talk. But I'm just like, phoenix screech.
Gotcha.
Like, in Duran's direction.
Okay. So at the end of your turn, if that is the end of your turn.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay. The Kraken's going to use its final legendary action of the round. And, Darand, can you roll a d8 for me, please?
Sure.
Anything but a 5 would be great for me personally.
I'm trying to help you here, bro.
Yeah.
It's 3.
3. Okay. Tentacle holding that on, you can feel it squeezing you, and you feel yourself being raised even higher before it lashes whiplash back and forth, and it ends up flinging you eastward. 60 feet.
Maybe it's just watching Duran like.
Yeah, there he just sees Duran fly by here. I said that's 60 feet, technically still on the ship, as I did say you were being held over it. So you do impact like the railing of the ship. Or rather, no, you would hit the Kraken's tentacle first, actually, as it's gripped and wrapped around the ship. So, ironically enough, due to the height and of the different decks and the random flinging, the tentacle ends up flinging you into itself, and both you and the Kraken do take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, you are most certainly prone right now.
Yeah.
Everything died. Get out of here. Okay. Anyways, it's fine, because next up is the Kraken's turn. So, yeah, you just saw Duran fly by you, Metodion. Or you would have at least seen him as he impacted and kind of crumpled to the ground near the Kraken itself. So, There is that.
Bit worried.
Yeah. Kraken's turn, though. Tentacle's gonna move. Tentacle's gonna move. This one moves as well. But Gildy is free! Yay, Gildy! Go, Gildy, you're free! Okay. So. Tentacle near you, Nenadion, and you, Duran, you can, Duran, you find yourself having to move and scramble back as the tentacle itself continues to constrict the ship, now kind of chewing through the upper layers of the deck. You actually see as holes begin to propagate, as planks begin to fall down and inward. You can see down into the captain's quarters area where the Yuan T was when you first found it, but the ship itself does take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. The whole of the ship takes 36 points of bludgeoning damage. Now, it's going to be one attack against Nenadion, one attack against the Pegasus. Against the Pegasus, it is a 29 to hit.
Yeah.
And that is 18 points of bludgeoning damage, and the Pegasus is currently grappled and restrained. So snatched out of the air as it went down to try to help that other bandit. Next, against you, Nenadion, is a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uncanny dodge it though.
Uncanny dodge? Alright. So you do take... would have been 23, halved to 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And you are snatched off the deck of the ship by one of the tentacles.
Mother. That's all that around here.
Excellent. That is the Kraken's turn. That brings us back to you, Daran, prone on the opposite end of the ship that you were about 6 seconds ago. And
Immolation damage, though.
It's saved, so it doesn't take the recurring damage.
Okay. For some
Actually, it's
reason
the
I didn't-
bandit's turn. Oh dear, oh me, what are they doing? Aside shouts out to the deck below as he's still struggling with the wheel there. Go see if we can get this thing going. Check down, see if the hoops, if Yemen's alright. Do whatever you can, we gotta get loose from this thing. And they go and head below deck to do whatever it is they do. If I need their minis, they're there, but they are currently below the deck. And you guys don't know what's going on below the deck right now, so... yeah. Bandits, stuff happening with the crew. There are still members of the crew that are up at the top that are trying to do something, but kind of directionless at the moment and a bit overwhelmed by the situation, as it's only been about 15 seconds since the Kraken appeared, so not quite cool under this type of pressure. But I suppose I should roll the strength for the bandit that is currently natural 20. He manages to he does manage to avoid being sunken in, but not enough to free himself from it, since there's nowhere to go, really. But he does manage to at least stabilize himself in the quicksand and sort of slowly begin to make his way back towards the ship itself. That is the bandit's turn. It is now Duran's turn. You are prone. What are you doing?
Getting up and telling everyone to raise the sails.
Lower the sails?
Lower, I'm sorry.
Lower? Okay. Alright. So, I'll say that's not even really an action on your part. If anything, making sure I'd say that's a bonus action to make sure that you get, enough to, get everyone's attention and actually shout that out. So, one of the bandits from below. Yes! Alright, got it! Can you get us rid of that thing? As they go and they begin to attempt to lower the sails. The boat is still being held in place by the Kraken, obviously, but the process of lowering the sails has begun, at least, when it gets back to their turn. You still have your action and half your movement. None of the arm currently above your head is being held aloft about, I'd say, 10-15 feet above and a bit towards the middle of the ship's wise. You're obviously kind of right next to this massive, pulsating, muscly tentacle that is gripping and squeezing, constricting the ship. You can see
how
a little bit
is it? How wise is a Kraken?
Do you wish for me to tell you the Kraken's stat block line?
No.
No. It's at the moment, it seems to know at least what it wants. So I don't know if that's wisdom or not, but
Smart guy.
yeah, he's a real scholar.
Damage is a boat taken 100 and
The hull is currently at 216 hit points. The sails are still at 150. So until the boat's taken 80. And obviously, I don't know if it was written down. I've said what damage to the sails does. Obviously, damage to the hull is the ship itself. If the hull gets to 0, the ship essentially is broken apart and foobar. So, not good. You can't lay on hands the ship in case you want to do that.
Damn it. You got my number. Fuck it. Let's try to command the Kraken.
Okay. What is your command? Your one-word command.
Drop. I feel that's pretty appropriate. Target drops whatever it's holding.
Okay. So that's a wisdom saving throw, I assume?
Yeah.
Thing about command. Doesn't need to be able to understand you.
Oh, your signal command, the target must succeed on but has no effect if the target is undead if it doesn't understand your language. Yep.
So what language are you speaking this in?
I mean, common probably would be the first thing I'd think of.
Okay. So you shout out drop in common.
Yeah. Halt. Heal.
Halt. I'll roll
Down,
to
boy.
humor you. It was a 15, but it doesn't seem to be able to understand your language. At that moment, the extending of the spell towards it, the casting of the spell, and like looking directly at this kraken and issuing your command, there's a hint of its eyes do go to you, and at that moment you and everyone else actually hears this booming voice telepathically in their mind in a language that I don't believe any of you understand. But it's a language that you have heard before. In this dark, gritting, grinding, sort of demonic tongue, you can hear a couple words followed by whatever you would imagine would be sort of this gurgled version of laughter. Apparently the Kraken does have the ability to speak telepathically, but just doesn't understand common.
A bit disturbed at the laughter.
A
bit disturbed at the laughter.
It's a weird thing. Anyways, you still have bonus action. Tried to banish it, try to command it. Nothing so far. Guildy's free at least. Oh no, you don't have bonus action. You commanded the.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything.
Bandits. Yeah,
That is.
You have movement if you want movement. Otherwise, we go to Guildy.
Yeah. Take us to Guildy.
He's currently about 45 feet away from the ship.
Make him go higher towards me.
Okay. We'll say he's high up above the deck of the ship. You want him to be like in front of the Kraken? Because that would be towards you, right?
I wanted him considerably higher.
Higher? Well, yeah, higher, sure.
Yeah.
So,
but that's fine. There, but higher. That's fine.
Yeah. If he only has 60 feet, so we'll say if he's like, if height is something that you want, then we'll say he's flying higher towards you, kind of getting out of the range of what you would assume to be the tentacles and all of that stuff, and about there, we'll say.
Okay.
All right. At the end of Guildy's turn, the Kraken is going to use its second legendary action of the round. Let's see what it does, though. Okay. Let's see, who can it hit? Actually. It's going to use 2 legendary actions. And Elevorn. After scorching, singeing, just like forcing it to release Guildy, the Kraken's ire and attention is drawn towards you. As, again, it inhales, and you can even feel bits of your sort of radiant plumage beginning to drift towards it as you look down into the maw of this creature, as this sandstorm focused beam of basically just shotgunning sand at you. This stream of sand heads up your way. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
That's a natural 20.
For a total of
25.
25. That does succeed. So you are, through part dispersing, part moving out of the way, you do still take damage, but because you're essentially sort of misting and moving through the space of each of these individual, each of these clumps of granules of sand, but you do still take some damage, but you are not knocked backwards. So you would take 10 points of bludgeoning damage, halved from 20.
Okay.
And that
Now
brings us
I'm more mad. Can I scream at them and like oh no, I can't. Could I? No, it's a physical attack. Never mind. I'm just gonna yell at them as a reaction.
Alright. Not an actual reaction, but okay.
I know.
I know. Alright, so Netadian, your turn. You are within the you are grabbed by the tentacle.
Yeah, that's always fun, not?
Mm-hmm. You're grabbed by the tentacle, you're about 15 feet above the deck that you were on before, where Durand is, about 30 feet above, occasionally, the center of the deck, but you're kind of wavering back and forth as the tentacle whips you around. You could either... you could do anything, but attempting to escape is an action.
Yeah. Pretty much almost out of things, so I'm gonna just try to get free.
Alright, that would be an athletics or an acrobatics check. Your choice.
Acrobatics.
Alright. Roll goodly.
$27.
That does succeed. So you do manage to wriggle yourself out. However, you do end up falling because you're getting loose. Luckily, you only fall the 15 feet, so you land on the deck around where.
Never
What's
mind.
up?
Yeah, that because it was action to try to get free and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
that's
still
fine.
have a bonus action. When you land, you kind of tweak your knee a little bit, and you do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Unless you have something that prevents any sort of fall damage, which I'm not sure if you do. I don't think you do. That's a
No.
fun thing. Alright. So you still have movement and bonus action.
Oh, let's see.
And you're face to face with Durand. Well, not face to face. There is a height difference.
Well, as a bonus action, I'm gonna use Second Wind.
Okay.
And that would be the end of my turn then, and I will calculate my things.
Pegasus's turn. Currently grappled by the tentacle.
I guess it will try to break free.
Alright, athletics or acrobatics? Coming up on Elevorn's turn.
Athletics, I think.
Alright, go for it.
$22.
22. The Pegasus does manage to get free.
Oh,
So, Pegasus muscles its way free. That is its action, but it still has its movement.
yeah, it's gonna fly back again. Try to go back still at the one bandit.
Okay. Able to get right down next to him. Alright. Elevorn, it is your turn.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move back to the ship and attack the tentacle that I was originally near.
Okay.
Yeah, over there. Multi attack it.
Go for it.
That's a 22.
Yep.
26.
Yep.
So it's 14 for the beak.
Okay.
For the talent.
Okay.
And I just will try the radiant first again.
Sure.
That is 21.
Okay.
Then I'm just gonna get right down in there on top of it.
Alright.
And that's 8 more damage.
8. Wow. Okay. With that flurry and that radiant burst, the tentacle holding the back of the ship near the helm, near Hasside and Elevorn, unwinds, unravels. You could feel the ship slowly and more begin to right itself. Now it's kind of being tilted a little further towards the front. The front of the ship is being pulled down more than the back as the tentacle releases. No longer attached at the back, at least, for the time being. Is that the end of your turn?
Would it have already let go? Because I could start to move toward... Well, no, it's fine. I'll stay where I am. Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. At that, there is the kind of roaring shriek of pain and anger from the Kraken in your direction. And you now notice that now that it's released, there are 2 writhing tentacles on the Kraken side of the ship and 1 that is on the other side. And all 3 begin to come and slam down on the ship at Elevorn. First attack, Elevorn, is a 25 to hit.
Yes.
Is there a reason why I should do damage or all the attacks at once and see what hits? Is there a reason to do it individually or no?
I don't know how much damage they're doing, so...
Okay, sure. And you've been keeping track of... What's up?
And yeah, the flame...
I think you're too
Elevorn
far.
is too far, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so while you are immune to grapple, you're not immune to the damage. So the first one is 20 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, I'm resistant to bludgeoning.
You're resistant to not all forms of bludgeoning, right?
It says bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Mm-hmm. 20 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
There you go. I didn't write. Let me read the Kraken stat block. Because I didn't note that in mine. I have my own, like, kind of cliff
No,
notes.
it's fine. I'm not gonna argue with you. I don't know.
Hold on. Right, yeah, so 10 then, right? So resisted. The second attack is a 33 to hit.
Yep.
And that is another 10 points halved. So 10 from 20 halved to 10. And the next attack is a 35 to hit.
Yep.
And this one is 18 halved to 9. Alright. Next up are the bandits. One of the members shouts down orders, instructions that Duran had, relays them down. It's like, you can hear the kind of shouting back and forth, like, Duran, Netherdion, you would, actually all of you would kind of pick up, like, we need to get these cells down, hurry up! I was like, we're running it, we have troubles ourselves down here, a lot of people are injured. Send up who you can. And there's a crew of individuals on the ships that do end up beginning and lowering the sails. The sails are currently lowered as the bandits, the crew scurry around. One of the slaves comes up and kind of looks panically at the Kraken, but goes straight to work on the sails themselves anyway. Hassad himself, after holding on, fighting against the force of the sand and the displaced area that the Kraken created for a while, ends up not able to continue, and the wheel starts spinning uncontrollably as he desperately attempts to get control back. I'll need I want Duran, Neredian, and I guess the crew to make dexterity checks as suddenly the ship lurches and again begins to tilt and list back towards the Kraken. Sad himself is flung and thrown and slides into the railing of the ship. A number of the bandits also do, but there are still some that are kind of near the main mast and hold on, some of them hanging on just with the ropes. Nobody goes over, at least.
17.
17? Alright, you managed to keep your footing. Duran?
15.
Okay, you as well. Managed to keep your feet planted and kind of able to keep your balance despite the sudden shift in the ship's angle. At the end of the bandit's turn, the Kraken is going to take its first legendary action. Come down at Phoenix Elevorn. That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, that is 22 points of bludgeoning damage, half to 11. And now it is Duran's turn. Actually. So, at the top of the road, you do feel the boat kind of lurch as if it's trying to be propelled. The sails begin to catch wind. And you can sort of feel this rumbling, but it's still being held in place by the grip of the Kraken. Currently, sails are lowered, all three. They do seem to be catching wind. I believe the hoops are extended but not activated, and there is one Kraken tentacle, the one that you and Netadian are around, that is still gripping the boat itself. Feel and hear the repeated thuds and smashes of the tentacles on the back of the ship coming down and pummeling both the ship and Elevoin's phoenix form in rapid succession. So, I'm not sure. She seems to be okay, at least for now, maybe. I don't know how she seems. Fine enough to not be out of phoenix form, at least. What are you doing, Dadam?
To let me attack.
Try. Go for it.
Okay, the first one is 22.
Hits.
Damage is 15.
15 points of damage. Okay. No
Yeah.
smites or anything?
No, maybe the next one.
Okay.
Fishing.
Fishing.
Yeah, I'm fishing for the crit. That's not fucking happening. But okay, I mean, it's not a 20, but let's do it. This is I imagine it should hit 26.
Yes.
Okay, we're smiting this.
Alright, what level?
I'm using all of my level 2s. All tree.
So one level 2 spell smite. You can only use one spell slot at a time.
Wait, really?
Yeah. You can't just stack smites like that. No. So if you use like the divine smite, that you can only use one spell slot at a time.
That gets in multiple.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you could use it, with each attack if you wanted, but per attack you're using one spell slot. That would be overpowered if you could use just. Yeah, I'm gonna use my 5th, 4th, all my 3rd, 2nds, and 1st. I'm gonna do 900 damage. All right, sound good?
I thought you could use all of the ones within that level.
No.
And it definitely is not that broken when you take into consideration the HP of some fucking things and the spell slots that a paladin has. Now, if you're telling me a caster can smite, taking into consideration theirs,
okay,
yes,
I'm sorry.
For
so
sure.
A wizard with a level in paladin. There we go.
Oh, true. Cross-classing is a thing. Forgot.
Alright, so that's an additional, what, 3 d8s, I think?
I'm gonna make it 3.
What?
I'm gonna make it 3.
Is it?
No. I said I'm using the 3rd level.
So is that additional 4
is
d8s?
maximum D8. Let me start fucking piling on these D8.
So Divine Smite, I believe, is 2d8 at first level, and then an additional 1 for each level above that. So 3rd would be what? 4.
2d8. Okay, so that's the one. And then an additional 1.
3, 4.
Plus
4
1d8 for each
third.
spell level higher. So it would be
4, right? Right?
Yeah, so it's 4 total.
4 total d8s on top of your other d8 and all of the other d8s that you use, and your natural divine smiting d8.
So weapon, regular smite, and then the
Improved smite.
Regular smite. Total
Yeah.
damage is 35.
Whew. 35 in addition to the 15 that you've done before. That is the exact threshold you need to hit for the Kraken's tentacle to recoil and release. The ship itself begins to right, but lurches forward, still kind of at the angle. You hear jostling and rustling as the ship itself threatens to break and fall apart. But right now, you are currently freed from both of the tentacles. And the ship itself does end up lurching forward slightly. You hear from below scattered words and panicked shouting about fractures in the hull of the ship. And you can hear the repeated panicked banging as you assume some people below decks are maybe trying to do some quick patchwork to potential damages to the ship.
Yeah, I'm going to. All right, this is probably excessive, but I want to ask.
Still there, it's just not on the ship.
If I forego the stairs,
oh dear,
could I get down faster?
You would, yes. Perhaps, maybe, if you don't fall from jumping, it would be. That would be. Let's see, a long jump, athletics. Yeah.
Okay. I want to do that.
A high or long jump is an athletics thing. Would.
Well, I mean, he's really
Is it
tall.
acrobatics? What?
He's pretty tall.
He is pretty tall. But is he like carefully lowering himself? It sounds like he's trying to jump down. Now here's the other question. Are you trying to get below deck, or are you trying to just get to the main deck?
Trying to get below deck.
Okay, now here's the question. Are you trying to jump to the main deck, or are you going to try to jump and angle yourself towards the hatch that leads down and jump from up there directly to the
That'd be so fucking funny, but no. I'm just trying to, like, all right, in a
cut
panic.
out from...
Look. This is how it is in my eyes. All right, so I'm sitting here. All right. Oh my god, it actually released. I hear what's going downstairs. I heard that there's trouble. So now I look to my right, and I'm gonna go down, but I feel like I'd save some time if I just jump to the main, and I just like forget the fucking stairs. I'm just rushing down there as quickly as I can.
Go ahead and make an athletics check then.
Okay, that is a 21.
21. Alright, you quickly look to your right, see the stairs instead, but then you see as the sails are being hoisted, some ropes dangling down from in front. You go, you run, you leap over the short railing, kind of kicking off of it, and kind of judging your distance, heading towards the main deck. You grab onto a rope, swing slightly, just like maybe 5 or 10 feet, enough to kind of slow your fall, and you kind of hit the deck in a sort of slight run/jog. So it does take up, instead of the about 40 feet, it would take up 10 feet of your movement to get down and kind of slow yourself now, and you're still sort of at a quick jogging pace, but you're right near the hatch there.
Perfect, we're gonna go down. Let's see what's
All right,
going on down there.
Continue that momentum. You head down below deck. Getting down, you can see that there are numerous bandits. Some of them are struggling with crates, trying to force it away. You can see some people are on the ground, moaning and groaning. Some are being pinned by some of the cargo. Others, you can see Yimin, the small gnome, kind of just furiously pounding away with a small hammer and some nails with a pile of planks next to him at some gaping holes in the ship. Instantly, when you get down, you notice there's a thin layer, not so thin, maybe about 2-3 inches of sand that has just accumulated at the down here from the various breaches in the hull of the ship. You can see that one of the hoops has been retracted and pulled back in due to the angle of the ship. Rather than letting it be dragged around through the quicksand.
Oh my god, I just realized we're playing the fucking RuneScape minigame.
No.
No.
No, I don't know what
Fuck.
Anyways, what are you doing?
Well, I wasted everything, so I've got absolutely nothing.
Okay, but you're down there.
But I'm down here, and now I can assess the situation and figure out what I can do next turn.
Gotcha. Alright. At the end of your turn, and before Gildy's turn, the Kraken is going to use one of its legendary actions. I believe it's second one. And the sails going down. One of the tentacles that's in between the ship and the Kraken swipes through and targets the sails. With a 19 that does hit, and the sails take 38 points of damage. Bringing them down to a total of 112. You have lost currently 10 feet of movement from the sails. Yes. So, that brings us to Gildy. Hi, Gildy. What's Gildy doing to Don?
Oh.
Is Gildy strong? Because I mean, the boat is like on, like, not at the helm.
Just give Gildy a pirate hat and.
Yeah.
Yar.
I don't know. It's not. I know it sounds kind of weird, but you know, it is a
It is, and it's also at this point, it would be like, it's also kind of Gildy on his own, isn't it? Duran's not really guiding him right now, is he? Or would it be like something that Duran would kind of point out to Gildy before he jumped down below decks? It kind of happens simultaneously, I would assume.
I mean, you know, whatever you want to have Gildy doing, it's fine. I just
It's weird. I mean, I can talk to him telepathically, so it's not like a
yeah
thing
and
like
you
that.
would
but...
know, like, you know, you just you heard the cracks and splintering, you felt the jolt and jostle of the tentacles, the Kraken's massive tentacles impacting above you. You can see and feel it reverberating through the mast of the ship that heads down, even like kind of goes through below decks and connects to the base of the ship, the keel. But you are feeling a little bit of movement, but you would feeling movement in like all directions, but you're actually beginning to feel some like sort of groaning and creaking as the boat attempts to move through, but it seems like it's sluggish, sticky, like you can tell it's no longer skimming on the surface of the sand, that smooth ride that you had gotten used to. It's now like it's trying to, well, move through quicksand. But that doesn't affect, it's still Gildy's turn.
Not sure. I don't know what he can do.
You fly up into the Kraken's face and just be like, I'm just gonna spread my wings and look at me.
I was actually thinking that before you guys even said anything, and I'm like, that's a hard decision to make. I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna blind him with my shiny scales.
Oh man. Yeah, I'll do that.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, poor Gildy. Oh well, it was nice knowing you, Gildy. Alright, so Gildy flies down in front of the Kraken. And just kinda... He's on the ship, but he's actually out in front of the Kraken itself.
Good.
Alright. That brings us to Netadian.
Well, as I'm seeing that nobody is steering the ship,
At the moment.
Yeah, at the moment, I'm gonna use. I'm gonna go over there.
Okay, it is a bit of a move. Are you going to try to do some stunt to get across? I said you in the middle there are 3 masts, 2 large ones, or 1 large one, 2 small ones on the front and back of that, and obviously certain implements for the sails, and especially because the crew is now getting the sails lowered and ready, there are some like free swinging ropes, especially since some of them have fallen and gotten jostled and thrown to the side of the ship. Or are you taking the ladder, or are you trying to do something else?
Probably not gonna take the ladder. I don't know if I should. I mean, you said there was ropes that were like.
Yeah, there are some free hanging ropes right now. The ship is still kind of tilted a bit, so there are some ropes that are hanging like this that kind of are now over the side of the ship itself. Right now, you are currently tilted towards the Kraken on board the ship. So the ropes that were hanging to the top of the mast are no longer like perpendicular with the ship. They're kind of like at that angle because they're heading straight up and down perpendicular with the ground.
That might be actually be too troublesome. I think I'm just gonna do what Grant did, but of course I'm not going down. I'm just gonna go across. Jump down.
So jumping down and then running across.
Yeah.
All right. So.
And if I have to dash, I'll dash, but...
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make your athletics check.
$21.
Yeah. So with dash as a bonus action, you'd be able to get right there.
Yeah. I know I can't really do anything, but I'll like trap on
you still have your action. Yeah, you still have your action.
Yeah, I'll trap on this. What is it called again? Fuck,
I don't know. The steering wheel. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a strength check, as it's currently kind of free spinning out of control. So grabbing it in itself is kind of like you gotta have to just get in there. 12. No, you go in and you try to, but it ends up sort of smacking your hand and wrist. It's gonna probably bruise it. You do take 3 points of bludgeoning damage from the wheel.
Fucking wheel! Oh, at least I'm trying.
At least you're trying. Next up is Pegasus.
Poor bandit.
So the guy has sort of, he's made his way kind of towards the ship, but like that initial burst of strength has kind of begun to wear off, and he's closer to the ship, but he's beginning to sink into the quicksand. He's about maybe up to his, mid torso. But your Pegasus is right there.
Yeah, it's gonna try to.
Alright, make another strength check. Unfortunately, the guy himself seems a bit worn, so he does have enough just to reach up and desperately grab at the Pegasus that is offering its hoof, but not so much more in the way of actually being able to pull himself out. Not with a 6, anyway.
Oh yeah, roll nicely for the freaking Pegasus, but not for me. That's an unnatural 20.
Alright, again, just pulls the guy out of the quicksand, delivers him to the ship.
I mean, I guess I should. That freaking D20 is a unicorn D20. I mean, it has to be on the horse's side.
Fitting, yeah. Okay.
And that's it.
Alright. The end of your turn. Kraken is going to take its legendary action. And once again, goes through, swipes through, and cracks and begins to sort of bend one of the smaller sails with the first go through with the tentacles. It kind of hovers and stops at the end and then comes through a second time the opposite direction. With the 23 to hit, it does hit. And the sails take 34 points of bludgeoning damage. On the second go through, it ends up snapping and shearing one of the smaller masts that creaks and, like a tree in the forest, falls over. Bandits dive to the side as it crashes into the opposite side of the ship, and the mast itself kind of tilts and leans right now, kind of only being suspended by the ropes that are held there, teetering on the edge, but mostly over on this side of the ship itself. The current max speed of your ship is 30 feet. As the sails are at 78 hit points. It is now Elevorn's turn.
Okay, so can I fly to Gildy?
Sure.
How far away is Gildy from the Kraken?
I would say that Gildy is about 20 feet in front of the Kraken, and still about 10 feet in front of the Kraken, 20 feet from the edge of the boat.
Oh wait, actually, Alright, I want to do a crazy thing. Can I do? No, I feel like. But okay, thinking that the Kraken is like most creatures and has liquid inside of its internal system, like in its stomach or something.
Okay.
Could I use control water of it?
No.
Fine.
That's
what, you're gonna just be able to control
I'm done.
water, the liquid inside of anybody?
Grab the helm.
You're gonna try to grab the helm?
I'm gonna turn back into Elevorn and try to grab the helm.
Oh dear. Okay.
Phoenix form drops.
Dang, that's not fair, man. Avatar can do that. There was that whole subsection of Avatar where water bending was blood bending.
Blood bending.
Ooh, that was
It's not
spicy.
No, you're not.
So you're gonna be able to
I
do
want
that
to make
anybody?
projectile vomit, because that would be very distracting.
No. You cannot control the water inside the creature.
Where does it say it? Where does it say it in the
Show
rules?
me the rule!
Show me the rule.
I mean, it's got some water in it, right? I don't know.
It makes sense,
Yes,
though.
it does.
Honestly, but
Okay,
That's-
alright. You want me to show you the rules? You want me to show you the rules. Okay. Let's see. Control water, right? That's the spell you wanted to use?
oh,
I will
it
show you the
specifies
fucking
it
rules.
specifies specific effects. Oh, okay, that
Any
sucks.
freestanding water inside an area you choose that is
Not freestanding. It's moving.
Wait, redirect
Fun.
flow.
Okay,
No
I'm
flowing
going
water in the area to move.
I think it's fine.
Hey, come
okay,
on.
so you're gonna try to take the wheel. Go ahead and make a strength check, please. As none of the as you kind of withdraw your hand, the moonlight of the phoenix comes down and kind of steps forward as Elevorn retakes her form and steps in to try to take the wheel as well. The two of you eventually maybe working together, but for now, let's see how Elevorn does. Elevorn? Elevorn. let's go and take a break. Actually, it's been about 2 hours. Seems like the battle is kind of shifting, and I have to use the restroom. So, be right
Okay.
back. And we're back. Managed to free themselves, or at least from the Kraken's tentacles' grasp. The ship is now somewhat unfettered, but you're still not out of the woods yet. It is currently Elevorn's turn. Elevorn, you swoop down to the deck, drop your phoenix form as you can see the ship needs righting, the wheel still spinning out of control. You step up in attempts to grab and stop it yourself near Netherdion as Hasaid off to the side is beginning to struggle back to his feet as well. Go ahead and make a strength check for me, please.
That is a 4.
4, no, you as well. Much like Netherdion, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you reach in and attempt to, but the spinning little knobs of the wheel strike and kind of crack your hand. It's like, ah! I would say you still would have bonus action and movement if you wish to use it.
No.
No?
I'll
Alright.
just get out of the way. I'll just go find a corner to stand in.
Yep. So everyone goes and stands in a corner. Next up is the Kraken's turn. So, say Durand, from as you head below decks and you are scanning the scene around, you can hear the sound of one of the smaller masts ahead being struck and snapped. You can hear its impact in the hull itself, and you can see through a bit of hole from planks that have been sort of bowed out and cracked and splayed outwards. You above the sand line, you can see one of the sails, one of the smaller masts has been broken, and you can see the top end of it essentially angled downwards, hanging off of the ship. But with the Kraken's turn, it's going to use its tentacle attacks. One of them towards you, Elevorn. That is a unnatural 20.
Yep.
That's 19 points of bludgeoning damage, and Elevorn is snatched up. What?
Oh, it's just really good. It's fantastic.
Elevorn is snatched up and currently grappled and restrained. The others, one is going up against the sails. That does hit, and the sails take 20 points of bludgeoning damage. And the last tentacle attack comes down across the hull of the ship, and the hull of the ship near the front does take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. So there is a tentacle that is currently resting across the front of the ship. It hasn't quite managed to get a full grasp on it. That is the Kraken's turn. Next up is the bandits aside. It's going to stand up and rush up next to you, Netherdion. Let's get this thing back under control. Can both Aside and Netherdion go ahead and make strength checks, please, to work together to try to right the ship?
That's a 6.
Well, luckily, that's a 19 from Hasaid, so he does manage to get in, and you can see and hear the crack as he his hand gets struck, but he muscles through the pain and manages to get it right. You, after he gets it slowed down, you go and you add what little you can to contribute, but the wheel does end up managing to be turned ever so slowly, and the ship does start to right itself, albeit the ship itself is still not in a great situation. So the sails have been completely lowered. Other bandits, other members of the crew now are taking up bits of the rope from the sail and attempting to at least hoist the fallen mast out of the sand, where currently it is sort of dragging along the quicksand, slowing the ship down. They don't manage to get it fully back up or on deck, but manage to at least raise it such that it's not dragging through the quicksand. At the end of the bandit's turn, we reach the top of the initiative order, where the ship is currently completely ungrappled. Sails are lowered, but currently you have 30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet of movement. So the ship does begin to move. Durand, it is your turn.
Where are these freaking activatable hoops?
Currently, only one of them is extended. One has been retracted because of the ship's listing. It was kind of sticking into the quicksand, so they pulled it back so it wasn't sticking into the sand. But now you can kind of feel the ship at least somewhat righting itself, so that one could be extended. You do have a number of people around, but a lot of them are kind of either panicking, trying to help out others that have been like trapped, or repairing, attempting to like gather materials to clog up and repair holes in the ship. No one at the moment is around the hoops, but you can see where they are at least, and you have plenty of people that you could conscript if should you want to.
All right, so I'm gonna shout out everyone focus, calm down. We're out of the creature's grasp. We just need get the hoops going. Be well away from this.
Okay. Yeah, they listen to you. They've grown accustomed at this point to the sound of your voice. You've been the one shouting out certain like commands over the days. So they recognize you, and the ones that are able, at least, do kind of begin to head towards where the hoop station is, and you can hear the cranks going as they extend one of the other hoops. And are you going to activate them?
Yes.
All right. Full speed?
Yes.
Alright, so with that there's a grinding sort of lurch. You can feel and hear the ship's hull creaking, and even more of it kind of rattling, and bits that had been damaged now completely are like kind of falling apart, especially near the keel where due to the kraken and the damage, the ship had sunk a bit below the quicksand line, where normally it would be sort of skimming along the surface. Now it's kind of trying to force its way through, and the friction caused by this high speed is kind of just like forcing it into not a wall, but a sort of malleable wall of quicksand. But it does lurch, and Netadion, you do feel that lurch of speed, and the ship does end up picking up speed, and slowly it does begin to raise as it does pick up speed back towards the surface of the quicksand. But that is Duran's turn. Unless you want to use some more movement. I would say what you did would be about 20 feet so far.
No, I'm planning on staying down here, helping however I can, directing whatever I can.
Okay, Gildy's turn then. As the ship does begin to move past Gildy. The Kraken, everything else kind of moving backwards, including Alavorn in one of the Kraken's tentacles grasps.
Oh, shit.
I know he doesn't have magical attacks, but I mean, I'm sure it can be fucking annoying to get swiped at anyways.
It could be, yeah.
So I'll rush up and attack its face if I can reach.
Go for it. Gildy could reach that, yes.
Distractions. Hampering. In any way he can.
24 to hit. Damage doesn't matter.
It does hit, but
Yeah.
no damage.
24. 18 to hit.
That does hit as well. For 0 damage.
Alright.
If he has some movement, since the boat's moved a little bit, I suppose impose the Kraken's view with the boat at all times as much as you can.
Gotcha.
Alright. The end of Gildy's turn. Kraken's going to use one of its legendary actions. Which one, though? Alright. The tentacle that was near the front of the ship now ends up nearing the center, and it is again going to swipe out towards the sails, which it does hit. And the sails take 36 points of bludgeoning damage. The other small sail is snapped, and this time with the force, the tentacle wraps around it, snaps it, and flings the sail spiraling off into the quicksand. You now have the single main mast, and that is it driving the ship. Your ship currently has a maximum speed of 20 feet per second, or 20 feet per round, including with the 30 feet since it's the minimum with the hoops. But it's now Netadion's turn.
Well, since I was gonna try to go and, grab Eleborn to help her up and, help her from the grasp. Like, take her hands.
The tentacle is quite large and it is whipping around back and forth. I would say that there is an opportunity if you run to the very back and even kind of stood up a bit onto the railing of the ship. There are times when maybe you would be able to reach her. It would be a difficult maneuver to do.
I'm gonna take the risk.
Alright, I'll say go ahead and make a strength check, as if the chance goes and you guys do manage to get a good grasp, you need to hold on quite tightly.
$19.
19. Elevorn, Netadion's there. She's reaching out for you. Are you taking her hand? Just trying to... Alright. So, Netadion and Elevorn, you guys clasp forearms and you get her tightly. Now you have two arms on her, Netadion, and for a moment you are... actually, let me see. Yeah. For a moment, you have to sort of brace and plant yourself, and you feel like you might be whisked away as well. But you are currently both feet up on the railing of the ship, holding on to Elevorn. The tentacle has it in its grasp and is trying to wrench it away. But at this very second, you're holding your own. That was a 19 as well, so it doesn't pull you off as well. Pegasus's turn, as I don't think you're going to do. You have anything else to do?
Yeah, the Pegasus. Does it manage to get to me, at least?
90 feet of movement? It would, yes.
Yeah, it absolutely would.
Does it manage to be like in front of me, flying like at the edge, so you know I could kind of like hop onto it?
If
One
necessary, it could be
possible?
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be nice.
Okay. Vorn is Neridion are grasping onto each other. The Pegasus is flying, hovering around there, kind of having to move as currently the ship is moving away as well. Is that the end of Pegasus's turn?
Yeah.
Alright, at the end of Pegasus's turn, the Kraken is going to take 2 legendary actions, and it is going to use its Sand Stream ability. Where it is right now. Yeah, that would just be his side, actually. It does not succeed on the dex save. So the side takes 22 points of bludgeoning damage and is pushed 10 feet back. Not over the side. But again, enough away from the ship's wheel that you're still moving forward, but now not as dramatically as before, as you have moved forward enough past the area directly in front of the Kraken, but still enough that it's slightly affected. The list of the ship and the pull of the sand around the Kraken is not as dramatic. It is now Elevorn's turn.
Okay.
So I say, since Neridion is grasping, if you wanted to try to escape, you could do so with advantage, or you could do anything else that you want to do, obviously.
Could I use my bonus action to turn into a squirrel in her end?
All right. So yeah, just a little normal squirrel, not a giant squirrel. So.
Well, I can't. I mean, I could polymorph myself if you prefer. It's up to
No,
you.
it's
I
it's
don't
okay.
mind.
So, being grasped by the massive tentacle, you can feel it every exhale. The next inhale becomes that much harder. You see the sand stream engulfing the area of the ship behind where Neridion is sitting there struggling. You can see the tenseness, the grit in her teeth, and the her sort of sinewy, like the muscles of her arm as she strains to hold on to you. Suddenly, Neridion, there is no counterforce, as if you're playing tug of war and someone just lets go of the rope entirely, as Elevorn boops into a tiny squirrel, and in the split second that it takes for the tentacle to readjust and kind of clench down on from her elf form to what would be her squirrel form, you and Squirrelvorn just kind of rocket back 5 feet, and you land on your back with Squirrelvorn on top of you.
Oof.
Elevorn, you are currently on Neridion's chest. Cheap, cheap. So that's your bonus action.
Yeah, I will. I guess I'll use my action to unsquirrel and try
Okay.
to grab start to move towards getting position to try to steady the hand.
Gotcha.
Or
So
can I help Neridion up?
yes, you
My
can.
action, because I knocked
Yeah.
her over, and she
So,
came back to me. So
get off of Neridion, kind of go over, and as a squirrel, you grab her thumb, but
no,
as your action, you unpolymorph, and as you unpolymorph, you go from grabbing her thumb to grabbing her hand and arm, and you help both of you up. Absolutely, you can do that.
The strongest squirrel ever.
Yeah, as a squirrel, I'm just gonna get behind her and start pushing at her back at the. Alright, so you are an elf again. You have, you still have half your movement, so 15 feet.
Could I position so that I could, try to assist with grabbing the helm again? Because I can't do anything else really.
Yep, absolutely. So, you do that. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Alright, next up is the Kraken. And quickly, you are pulling away. The Kraken itself does begin to move, repositioning itself in line with the ship. Two of the tentacles come down across the whole of the ship, and both hit. That is a total of 48 points of bludgeoning damage to the ship. As with both of them there, they do grasp onto the back of the ship again behind you. One of the tentacles does, and suddenly the ship itself kind of comes out of the sand at the front of the ship, kind of sticks out as it's suddenly been decelerated. Durand, you feel the sudden deceleration and stumble forward a few feet as you can hear the whining of the hoops, and you can see them now kind of just angled down and blowing directly into the quicksand below, kicking up this dust storm on either side as the ship's acceleration has stopped. And with its final tentacle attack, it's going to target one of the bandits on the ship, and that is a hit. It snatches one of the bandits off of the front of the ship and into its tentacly grasp. That is the Kraken's turn. Next up is the bandits. Haside again is going to rush over Celeborn. Would you like to roll a strength check or assist?
Could I just assist him in any way that I can? Like hold his hair out with his
I'll
face?
give him advantage, and with advantage, goes from a 7 to an 18. So yes, with your help, he does manage to steady the ship again, but you're still not going anywhere at the moment. Other bandits from below, some of them are looking forward to you, Dran, for a bit of guidance. You can see some of them do have materials for repairing the ship in hand, but some of them are still just patching up bits of the hull. So the hull does restore some hit points from what they're doing. Would you like to direct them in any way, or let them go about their business?
How is the ship looking?
What'd you say? How is the ship looking?
Yeah.
The ship currently, the hull has 152 hit points. The sails have 22. You're down to one mast, essentially.
Suppose focus on repairing the sails.
Okay. So some of the bandits head back up. Waterstone and Tick Tick with just four arms full of material. And Waterstone chirping at her. They come back up to the sail, and you can see the main mast itself, while still affixed and standing, is not in the best of ways. Tick and Waterstone begin to scale the sides of the mast and begin to do what they can, along with the bandits that are pulling and holding the ropes to nail in and replace and kind of try to sturdy up the main mast. So with that, your sails are up to 42, and your max speed with the hoops is now 40 feet. That is the bandit's turn. It is now Duran's turn. You heard the sound of another impact, and you felt the ship stopping. You've got the hoops going right now. The ship seems to have sort of righted itself, even though it's now, instead of listing towards the Kraken, you're now kind of at an angle where the front of the ship is at an incline.
If everything down here looks kind of okay, I'm gonna head up.
Yeah. With that, all that's going on, Yimin, the little gnomish tinkerer, has kind of taken care of the hoops now that you've begun to direct everyone. And Duran, you head back up. So that's 25 feet to get up. Getting up, you notice there are significantly less sails than what you had remembered since you left. And you can see one of the massive tentacles writhing and slithering across the back end of the boat, where you can see at the helm of the ship, struggling and kind of trying to do their best, are Haside and Elevorn.
I'm gonna prepare what I can.
Okay, so you as well, you take materials and everything from Tick Tick and do your best, so you repair the sails or the hull?
Sails.
Okay, so again, you're working on that main mast, as it's the only one that's there. A group of the bandits as well, so you're still trying to hoist the sort of almost entirely sheared through, but not quite, like a felled tree that still has some connection with its stump. They're trying to hoist that back, and one of the other masts and sails is just completely gone. So with that, your sails are back up to 62 hit points, and your ship has, with the hoops, 60 feet of movement. Which, as you see the Kraken and its movements, and it's attempting to stay with the ship and keep it lined up and held down, basically you're at the point where you and the Kraken are matching speed. Once you're freed from its grasp. Gildy's turn. Gildy? You there, dude?
Yeah, just I don't know.
Okay, still just there, kind of distracting if you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Still taking swipes at the Kraken. At the end of your turn, the Kraken's going to use its legendary action to attempt to rid itself of the nuisance dragonel in front of it. Take a tentacle attack against Gildy. That's a 36 to hit.
That hits.
So 19 points of bludgeoning damage to Gildy, who is snatched out of the Kraken's face by one of the tentacles. And that brings us to Netadion's turn. How's Gildy doing? Still up?
Checking right now.
Okay. There's 19 points. So you've just been helped back to your feet, Netadion, as...
He's still in it.
Okay. As two of the tentacles come down, one retracts as the splinters of wood kind of pepper your face. The other one begins and is currently grappling and holding on to the ship. What are you doing?
Ah. Have much. I'm gonna use Soul the dead on the tentacle that is holding onto the ship.
Okay. It's a wisdom saving throw for the Kraken.
Yeah.
That is a 9. No. 8.
Has it taken damage? I mean, how does this
Yes.
go?
Yes, it would have taken damage.
Yeah,
It's part of the
so-
Kraken. The Kraken has taken damage.
Yeah, you know, I had to make sure again, so
Not a problem.
3d12s.
Ooh.
So 25 points of necrotic damage.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for that. Yeah. What's its Constitution modifier? Pretty good. Not quite good enough though. With 25 points of necrotic damage, the damage that the Kraken has already sustained and a relatively low saving throw by the Kraken, the tentacle does loosen its grip. It's still wrapped around the ship, but it sort of recoils enough so that the ship does manage to lurch forward out of its grasp. You see the tentacle dip down below the back end of the ship as it attempts to re-grasp it and then come back up. And do you have anything else? As it loses its grip on the ship lurches out and begins to move forward yet again. The tentacle whips back up and it looks like it's going to come down across either the ship, you, Elevorn, Heside, or all four.
Shadow Plate.
Alright. Go for it. Can you do that? If you don't use
bonus
your action to
action.
attack?
It's a bonus action. No, wait, never mind. I mean, as an action, I used the Dull the Dead, so I should be able to use the dagger as a bonus action still.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah. It's not your normal 2-weapon fighting with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
Alright. Go for it.
$24.
24 definitely hits, yeah.
$13.
13 points of damage. Okay. It is now the Pegasus's turn. Unless you want to move somewhere.
I guess I'll get the Pegasus back on the boat.
Okay. This flies, weaving through the lashing tentacles back over onto the ship. It's kind of hard to do opportunity attacks for the Kraken when its melee range is 30 feet.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, that is going to use another legendary action. Oh dear. I gotta roll a d8. 1. As the bandit in the tentacles grasp is flung 60 feet. Whee! Out into the woods. And he does take damage, but it is now Elevorn's turn. As the boat continues to make headway. Still within range of many of the tentacles, but now beginning to move, picking up speed as Duran, Tick, Waterstone, and some of the bandits kind of straighten out, sturdy up the main mast. It sails full of wind, the sound of the hoops adding their gusting boost to the ship's speed itself. What are you doing, Elevorn? As it looks like the Kraken is ready to pursue.
I'm sorry. I am going to cast Gust of Wind into the sail.
Okay. Is there certain levels of that to make it stronger, or is it?
No,
what's
it
the
doesn't
speed?
seem to get any stronger at higher levels, I don't think.
Okay. So what is the force of that? Like how much does it move things? Let me go ahead and read the spell. So Elevorn aims towards the sail once Haside gets a good grip of it and casts a gust of wind into the sails.
I think it might only be like 15 feet or so.
Let me see. Gust of wind. Push 15 feet away. It says 15 feet. Yes. That, in combination, though, with the hoops being active, doubling the speed of the ship effectively, adds another 30 feet to you guys' speed. So before the gust, you saw that as the Kraken moves, it seemed to be moving about at the same pace as the ship itself, keeping its speed, the tentacles moving through the quicksand and keeping pace. But once you gust of wind, you begin to make separation between you and the Kraken. Is that your turn?
There isn't really like anywhere to like. Yeah, there's probably not really any cover and where to get behind to continue to do this. So, I guess maybe I'll just step a little more forward on the ship, just move up closer to the thing. So maybe I won't get grabbed by a tentacle.
Okay, just getting as far up, kind of in front of the wheel itself, and just
Keeping as much distance between you and the tentacles as possible. Huh?
Could I go down and crouch beside the stairs?
You could, yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
angle it up towards the sails.
Yeah, just kind of like aim it up at the sail.
Sure, just kind of ducking beneath.
Well, cause yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
that's fair. Alright. Next up is the Kraken's turn. As it begins to
Lose ground. The tentacles that were now at the front of the ship, nearing the back. The Kraken itself,
now about 30 feet behind where it once was. I'm going to need Pegasus, Haside, and Netadion to make dexterity saving throws as it once again inhales and sort of in a rage of frustration and anger spews a stream of sand towards the three of you. It's a no for Haside.
Hasad, why aren't you more dexterous?
I mean, he's not terrible, but when you roll a 9 on the d20,
24.
that definitely saves. So you take no damage and are not pushed. What about your Pegasus? So you watch as Elephant goes down the stairs, focusing on it, and once she clears the stairs, this stream of sand comes over where the two of you are and where she once was.
I guess this was 11.
11? That does not succeed.
Yeah.
So Haside and the Pegasus both take 32 points of bludgeoning damage. Not sure if you've been tracking the Pegasus's hit points.
Yeah, I have.
That it's also knocked 10 feet back.
so 10 feet in the direction from that, and side is knocked 10 feet, and side
Crumples against the ship. He's unconscious. Just in time for the bandit's turn. Where his side rolls a death save, okay. And the bandits will roll strength. And again, repair. So the bandits have managed to right one of the sails kind of somewhat, and they come over with basically just a bunch of rope and begin to wrap the rope around the sail and try to reaffix one of the smaller sails, effectively repairing the sails, giving you guys another 10 feet of movement, which in combination with the hoops is 20 more feet, and you guys are now pulling away from the Kraken. At the end of the bandit's turn, the Kraken's going to use a legendary action, sort of one last attempt. Now you are perhaps 60, 70 feet from the main body of the Kraken, and the final vestiges of the tentacles, the furthest towards you, are going to lash out towards the back of the boat, towards you, Nedadion. That's a 1. Does a natural 1 hit?
No.
That's the only way it can miss.
Pretty much. It has a plus 17 to hit, so...
What the fuck?
So, Nedadion, after dodging this, you feel the boat begin to accelerate. You can feel the boat actually begin to raise up as the base of the boat is now gliding again with this speed along the surface of the quicksand. You turn just as one of the tentacles comes within like a few inches of your face, swiping out towards you.
Too close. Too close.
The Kraken itself is in pursuit. And with the hoops, with what you have right now, you are outpacing it. However, Nedadion, at least, we know all of you have been told, this level of burn on the hoops, you can only keep it up for about a minute. And once it, basically once it drops, once it's over, the speeds might be a little bit closer. But anyways, we have you, Durand. It's your turn.
Can I make it to the... Can I make it to...
To the helm?
Yeah.
With 40 feet. And 20, 25. There's a giant Pegasus in your way.
Me.
Yeah, you can just make it there with 40 feet. You're not directly in front of it, but you are within reach of it.
I wanted to get up Sun.
Aside.
Aside, sorry.
Oh, you would not be able to reach the side.
Okay, yeah, so then...
Not without dashing, at least.
You know, that defeats the purpose. Wait. Wait, I'm a genius. Hold on. I got the move.
Are you though?
Oh.
Yeah, I got the move.
What are you
We're going to Aura of Vitality as my action.
We just extend
That allows me to bonus action heal him.
There you go. That would do it. So I'll let you roll the numbers, but with that, you are a vitality. I assume with the crown or no?
No, it's not necessary. I mean,
Plus 17 probably doesn't
ain't
matter.
gonna fucking hit me no matter. Goddamn, like.
All right, so you drop the shield of faith or vitality now, and you extend that will, that presence of life towards Haside, who's breathing stabilized, and he comes back to consciousness, begins to right himself and kind of trying to assess the situation. Seems a bit out of it right now. Also, point of note, Gildy is being left behind.
Hi, Gildy.
Well, he's about to try to break out.
He's about to try to break out, but he's also not as fast as the ship is moving right now.
That's okay. He can catch up later. Kraken can't fly.
I mean, not right now. He's in the grasp of the Kraken. He'll just be resummoned later. It's fine. Poor Gildy. It's Gildy's turn.
Alright, he's gonna try to break out.
All right.
What is this? What am I adding to
Athletics
this?
or acrobatics. So either strength or dexterity if he doesn't have proficiency in athletics or acrobatics, which I do not believe a dragon elf does.
No, so it's 18.
18 is exactly what you need to break out.
Oh
That is
my god.
So he breaks out and begins to fly
Up.
towards the ship, but the
no,
Kraken
no.
as well
No,
as
yeah,
fly
up.
towards, and they move at the same speed. So
No, I want him to go up.
up, okay, fine, 60 feet more up. That's fine. That's perfect. There you go. As he gets towards the end of the range, the Kraken's going to lash out for an opportunity attack.
He does not take.
Wait, what? Oh, flyby.
Flyby.
Never mind.
I fly.
Gildy
If
has
that
escaped
fucking
certain
hit,
doom.
it was
What?
over, dude. He has 2 HP.
Oh no!
He has 2 HP in a dream.
2 HP in a dream. Could spitefully do the sand stream thing upwards towards him, but I don't think the Kraken cares so much about that thing as long as it's not buzzing around his face. So that brings us then to Neridion.
Ah,
Kraken's still pursuing, but at this very moment, it is losing ground, and the tentacles are not within range of the ship or you, and it's up to you. With what you have so far, in addition to Elevorn's gust of wind, you have 90 feet of movement on the ship for the next near minute. Maybe 6-7 rounds. What are you doing, Neridion?
well. Drowned. You think that how I can freaking do this thing, and I'll then run over to help Hassan.
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. So you run over and you help his side up. Thank you, friend. The ship is not in good shape, is it? But let's put as much distance as we can between us and that thing.
Yeah,
Kind of collapses over the railing towards the middle of the ship and shouts down towards the bandits, Waterstone, Tick Tick, and the other members of the crew. Get that mast repaired as fast as you can. Anything else, Neridion?
no,
Okay.
I'm just kind of like there to make sure that he won't like fall over or something again.
Okay. So Pegasus, anything special or just?
Just make it go at the front of the ship, I guess. If it,
Sure.
it's kind of in the way at the moment.
Just maintaining gust of wind.
Wait, can this thing talk back to me? It can't. God dang it.
What? Elevon, you here?
Hi.
Anything special or just maintaining the gust of wind?
How far away is the Kraken?
The Kraken right now is probably about 45-50 feet to the back of the ship.
Okay, great. I'm going to not concentrate on gust of wind and instead go to the back of the ship and use transmute rock around the Kraken.
Wait, what? So, the ship suddenly slows as the gust of wind stalls out, dropping your speed back down to you're no longer gaining ground on the Kraken, but instead you're keeping pace. You're moving at the same speed as it pursues. So
Oh,
one
wait, I don't
runs up
have
the
to.
stairs.
Wait, it's not concentration.
What isn't?
Transmute rock, so I can
Oh,
keep the gust.
okay.
I
So
just
you
have
keep
to
the
move.
gust
Yeah.
in one hand, and you look back towards the Kraken with the other, and over the back of the ship, where the railings have kind of been destroyed, the entire back part of the ship has essentially fallen out from the tentacle lashing attacks. You can see the Kraken moving this current of quicksand around it as it rockets towards you, the anger and fire in its eyes, the tentacles in its wake behind it. Elevorn reaches out, and you can see the quicksand around going from this sort of slight sort of wave-like motions of this thick liquid solid mixture, and it stills and solidifies into solid rock in front of and around the Kraken. What's the radius that you can affect? Or the cube? Or what are you doing? Sorry.
It's a 40-foot cube, but it makes a dexterity saving throw to be.
It's not. Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a 6.
Okay, it doesn't save.
Its dexterity is 0, but it does have a +4 to its save. It rolled a 2. It's not focused on dodging anything right now. It's just trying to move as fast as it can to get back up to you, and it's not ready for what happens next, which is what?
Okay, so the restrained creature, it becomes restrained by the rock, and it could use an action to try to break the rock. On a DC 20 strength check, or by dealing damage to it. It has an AC of 15 and 25 hit points. It's not gonna last long, but they're gonna stop it for a little bit.
As you can see, the quicksand sort of begin to slow and thicken, and as the Kraken comes closer, the ship, it seems to be moving slower until the sand itself hardens into this solid stone. You can see the Kraken there roaring out, the tentacles flailing out as the entire Kraken is stuck in this block of solid stone.
So
Yep,
I would keep the gust of wind going.
Yep, so in one hand you got gust of wind, the other one you trap the Kraken in a block of stone, essentially.
Yeah.
Alright, first things first, the Kraken, its initial thing is going to be to attempt to break out of it. That is a 19, 10 plus 9.
It was 20.
And, Jesus Christ. So with that, you guys put another 90 feet of distance in between the two of you. And I will say, by the time it either breaks out or destroys it, you guys are maybe 300-400 feet ahead of the Kraken. You can see it in the distance. It's massive, and it follows for a while, for a couple minutes after the point you guys have taken to continuing the hasty repairs of the sails and trying to get as much speed behind and wind behind as you can, keeping the gust of wind active. Eventually, you see it, you hear the piercing, angry roar, as if another angry, sort of telepathic speech in your mind that you can't understand. This time, distant, as if listening to a shout from far away, not as booming as it was at first. The Kraken's head sinks down beneath the quicksand.
I'm going to shout. He said he'll get us next time.
Something along those lines, most likely. But with that, there are currently no more enemies around. We're out of combat. Over the next couple of days, the ship is repaired as best as it can. The below decks is cleared out of all the quicksand that came up. The injured are tended to. The lost are remembered. A couple bandits did end up losing and being lost to the Kraken in the quicksand. Thankfully, Tick Tick was saved by the Pegasus, and as was a number of others by the Pegasus. But you continue forward using the Yuan-Ti navigators, directive and advice. You end up, healing up, recuperating. You are very sore for the next very long while, and the ship's sailing is not as smooth as it once was, but it is functional. One day, you're woken up by a lurch in the ship. A sudden drop and creak, and an odd sensation of movement. The three of you head up to the ship, and you realize that what you're sailing on has changed. The ship itself now rests below the surface, and the quicksand sea has slowly diluted and turned into clear water. As the ship's keel now rests below the waterline, there are some leaks, but they are controllable and manageable. As off the front of the ship in the distance, you see land. Not just land, but a lush, green, tropical-looking jungle. And that's where we'll pick up next time. But before we pick up next time, throughout the week, I'm going to get with each of you to discuss your level ups.
Ooh, level ups. I don't get much.
Depends on what you take, doesn't it?
I mean,
And of course, when we pick up, or if you guys want to now, if there's anything pressing, we can sort of backtrack if there's any conversation, into characters, whatever's that you want to have, but we get there for now. What is that? 14th level?
yeah.
Ooh.
In total, 14 total, depends on, all the multi-class things.
Yeah. Does anyone get anything cool?
I mean, I guess reliable talent is sort of okay.
I mean, that's
It's
kind of
useful.
ridiculous, isn't it?
I can't roll over
yeah,
10.
Nemo, we're gonna have to talk about your 14th level thing, aren't we? We have to figure something out for that, right?
Yeah, I think something happened with 14th level.
Yeah, that's the alter self thing that we're probably gonna have to modify a bit, right? We'll talk about it. Homebrew something, maybe. What about Paladins, Daron? Do you get anything cool?
Let me see.
I think you do, but I don't have the determination oath up in front of me right now. Paladin, 14th level, cleansing touch. So, I didn't even know that was a thing. What the fuck? Beginning at 14th level, you can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch. Number of times equal to your intelligence modifier. So just boop, done, boop, haha. Fuck your magic.
Boop, boop, boop. I mean, there's gotta be
Someone's charmed. Nope. Boop. Not charmed anymore.
there's gotta be something that it cannot take off, but
You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch.
You know,
I mean,
Like it
maybe-
has to be a willing creature, so it's not like, oh, the enemy has cast fly on themselves. Boop, you're not flying anymore. It's like no.
So then, would a charmed person be willing? They're charmed, you know.
That is true. Good point.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what about force cages, huh? Can it do force cages?
I don't think that a force cage is a creature. If it's like a paralyzed spell type thing, then yeah, definitely. But that's a good point about the charm and the willing creature. It's not a dispel
that's
magic.
all I get.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally all I get. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it looks like it.
15 is Adeling Reversal.
Ooh. As well as another 4th level slot. Yeah, hey. Do you get any more spell slots as a druid at 14th level? No.
My high level spells are too powerful.
They're too strong.
I get
But at
another.
15th, you get 8th level spells.
I mean, I'll get the reliable talent and another d6 for my sneak attack.
Oh. More snake attack.
I'm a little concerned that, you know, we got an enslaved Yuan-Ti. And I asked him to take me to his home.
You asked him to help you. What is the exact wording? Because I thought it was help us get to your home, right? Yeah. Help us navigate to your home or something like that. Up to a little bit of interpretation. And like I said, Gias is not foolproof, but you knew that.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said. I'm starting to wonder if I might have worded that a little wrong.
Oh my god, we're just going to his home.
Oh no, the slavers, they're 6 islands over.
You're right.
I will tell you that's not the case.
Yeah, sure, you're saying that now,
Oh,
but...
Reliable talent, 11th level.
I can't roll less than 10 on what I already
Stuff that you're
put
proficient
down.
in?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the minimum that you can roll a stealth check is what, 24? That's your absolute lowest you can roll? You can't stealth less than 24?
I'm just constantly stealth.
She can group stealth less than 24. We're certainly able to help her with that.
Reliable talent. Rogues are such just skill monkeys. Like, it's ridiculous. What the fuck is the point of reliable talent? You get like 19 expertises, 84 proficiencies, and reliable talent. Just never fail at anything. There we go.
Yeah, they're just like, you can't fail.
You just can't fail at the things you're good at. You still can't see shit, but
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I just can't see shit.
Neridion is just the master of manipulating sight. She can't see anything. No one can see her. Everything just goes blind around Neridion, including herself. Everything with regards to Neridion is blind. She's blind. No one can see her. Just does she exist? Who knows? She can't tell. She can't see anyone else either. Where does she exist? Who knows?
Meridian is just a figment of everybody's imagination.
Including her own, because she's like, guys, where are you? We're right here. Oh shit, Neridion, where'd you come from?
I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, so have we. I didn't see you. We didn't see you, huh? She's a very bad ghost.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I play up encounters more in my head. Like, I don't know. Thought it would be. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What?
There's nobody. It's the Kraken's ability. It seemed. I don't know. I don't know why. It seemed more like that plotting, like I'm just a big thing with a lot of hit points that just deals a lot of damage. Like, and that's a very different feel to like the Chimera, which is like I'm a thing with not a lot of hit points that deals a lot of damage. So it's quick, fast paced, and I didn't feel like any of you guys were really in true threat of much. But I guess that's my fault. Should have had it try to eat one of you, I guess.
Maybe.
That'll do it.
Then could I have controlled the water?
True. It's right there.
No, I can't
get
tidal
out
wave
of-
inside its stomach.
Tidal wave downwards. Yes, just a spew of water everywhere.
No,
Not
I cast tidal wave like coming at me from behind to get back out.
Yes.
Right,
So
it's
it's
like
like you just
pull away
hang,
from
you
it.
just like strap yourself in, pointed upwards. Just tidal wave yourself out. That was cool. I thought you were gonna go for that other thing to stop the Kraken.
Which one? I had like 12 plans.
Oh my god.
The big one. I thought you were gonna go with the big one.
The biggest one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't honestly know which one is the biggest one. Which one are you talking about?
The 7th
It
level
was-
spell.
Oh, the reverse gravity or the firestorm?
The reverse gravity.
I didn't know what that would do. And like you talked to me about it and I was like, I'm not sure what this will do. I don't want to break the boat in half.
Well, it was behind. It wasn't far enough. It was far enough behind the boat by the time you had used the transmute rock thing, which was awesome as well.
Yeah, that was.
Just
All of the options you had were like, oh my god, what if she uses that? It's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, the transmute, the gust of wind transmute. You brought all the stuff to just get away from something really quick.
I don't know. I feel like we could survive in the ocean. Or a lake or something, or like a really big river. You know, we'd be okay, but quicksand, no.
Yeah, water is okay, but quicksand, not so much. No.
Because
Yeah.
we could take turns like riding orcas or something like in real water. But no,
You
you
see how hard it is
quicksand.
to come up with scenarios that are like a difficult challenge for Elevorn to deal with. Well, I guess now Elevorn and Duran, because you guys are like, a survival situation. We just travel on conjured animals, and I can make us as much food and water as we need. Fuck your survival. But I guess you guys are 14th level, and survival situations are probably geared more towards lower level things.
Too bad I can't use any
You
higher.
could put them in a ring, but you're a rogue, so that's fine.
I
You
mean,
have
I
your own-
can't use higher, like, it's only 5th level is max is 5th level for the ring. It's like,
Yeah.
the dominant monster from the book,
Yeah.
8th level spell, that could have been nice. Maybe.
8th level spells.
Yeah, it's dominant monster is 8th level spell.
Oh yeah. No, it's you guys got the ring like well before you even had 5th level spells.
Yeah.
I think that like being able to store up an extra 8th level or higher spell like that would be too much. I think the ring's in a good spot.
Yeah, it is. I didn't mean it that, but I mean, if somehow could have used dominant monster, that could have been kind of fun, or try to use it somehow. I didn't mean it like I need to. It's just,
Yeah.
Oh,
Like how Duran's Dune's first instinct is just to cheese my fucking Kraken.
That was my second instinct, I'll have you know. My first instinct was to blindly smack it.
Oh, gotcha. My first instinct was just to smash its tentacle, and then I'm like, yeah, banish, dude. That's it.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
No, that's fine. Sure. It's a big spell.
It'd only be
It's your
gone
big
for a
spell, I
fucking
guess.
minute anyways.
Yeah, a minute is a long time to run. Your ship
With
would have
no
been
sails up, with no
your
hoops
ship would have been
active.
in better condition. We'll say that. That's.
But yeah, yeah, it would have been ideal if it worked.
Or
but,
I could
you
have
know,
just been
it's
like,
a
I
fourth level
banished
damn
one
spell.
tentacle out of existence.
Oh,
No, that wouldn't have been the case. It is part of a creature.
Well, he is his 5th level, so I mean, you know, there's that.
I can only do it once. There's no second attempt.
Yeah. Yeah. Geese is a strong 5th level spell. Seems like it should be higher. But I guess it is, you know, exploitable with its wording. Very exploitable with its wording.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna die for you by any means. If anything, you guys look around and the Yuan-Ti's not there anymore. You just took one of the lifeboats and escaped.
Yeet.
No, he was probably just hiding somewhere, not helping at all because helping would endanger its own life.
Or knocked prone by something. Out cold.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Well.
We didn't
Sam-
make it to our next party member.
We did not.
Next time.
We did start an hour later, and well, it was really just that.
Next time, though. We are,
Next time for
Well-
sure.
since we are, like, almost there.
As far as you know,
Yeah.
you're like
Unless
7
we're
hours away.
actually going to that UNT's home.
Yeah, we're just going to his home. He's got a nice little hearth.
His wife is gonna be like, what the fuck?
Oh, you brought dinner home.
And then we proceed to kill his wife because she's
Yep, there you
a
go.
type.
Yep, that's. Yep, he brings you to his home, into his home, and you kill his family.
Yeah, because she's trying to eat us.
This spell is the worst spell.
Dispel?
I said this spell is the worst spell.
Oh, what spell?
Geese.
Geese? You're gonna become just become Lelouch.
It's not too far away.
That's a good spell. I wish I had it.
I mean, it's
Mad with
freaking. Yeah, it's like. When you cast it at a higher level, it's like. Ah.
I have 7th level spells. I chose not to use the 7th level slot on it.
Power.
Yeah, for a year. Last year. And if you cast it at 9th level, then it's like you can only get rid of it, you know, with certain other spells.
Like a wish spell or some ridiculous shit. Well, I mean,
Cleansing
remove curse
touch.
is only like a third
A
level
remove
spell.
curse, creator restoration, or wish. Those are the
Or
ones that.
Duran can just boop them out of it.
Yeah, I can boop it.
Duran
No,
can boop it.
no.
Yeah, he can.
Why are you trying to like? Why are you trying to solemn judgment my fucking every move with cleansing touch?
No.
Alright,
It's a remove
When you
curse,
get cursed, I just won't use it on you. Oh, I'm sorry, she's not willing. She's obviously not willing. I cannot.
I'll just like, you know, you wait till I get to that 9th level spells and then, you know, the Rob's in trouble.
I think it would. I mean, it's a 14th level paladin ability. Remove curse is like a 2nd or 3rd level spell. I feel like it should be at least that strong. And it seems like it's...
To remove something cast at 9th level?
Well, I mean, remove curse can remove it, right? It specifies
Yeah,
that
it's
spell.
a remove curse, creator restoration, or a wish spell.
Yeah. That's what
Those
he says.
three can do it.
I don't know. Maybe not. Are you planning on doing something that you don't want Duran to remove?
Yes!
Oh dear.
My.
What am I supposed to not
Yeah,
remove?
no, I think you're right. It doesn't specify it, so
Yeah, it doesn't specify.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If we come to it, I'll revisit it. But yeah, probably not. But you have access to remove curse, don't you, dude?
Yeah.
I'm interested in what is Nimue
The
gonna
third level
do.
spell. Does Paladin have access to it?
Let me
Say
pull up my
yeah.
stuff again.
You say yeah before you even check your
It's
shit.
okay, I'll just like add it into the gears. It'll be fine.
I do have. No, I know I have remove curse.
Don't remove this and.
Yep. Double lock that shit in there.
Oh my god.
Alright, let's pull my whole list of stuff.
Yeah, you do have.
I've got.
curse. But maybe who knows? Maybe he won't want to do it. Like,
That's
he
a
could-
restoration as well.
If it's a good narrative, I'm sure he'll let it stay.
I don't understand
I don't
what.
know.
You think I
What
would
is he
remove?
gonna- what is, I
is
don't
it
know what he's
Gios?
planning on
I
doing,
wouldn't
but
remove
Nervion
Gios.
or whoever. Elevon just becomes mad with power.
Oh, is that?
Durand has to go around cleaning up after her. Every town you go into, people start acting strange, and it's like, oh shit, Elevon.
I don't think I would want to remove Gios. It doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't think.
I guess unless she actually is, unless she's trying to become Lelouch, legitimately.
Wait, what's the problem with that?
I mean, me personally, I don't have a problem, but Deranda's gonna have a problem. I'd be cheering for her.
Okay. So what? Durand doesn't want to commit evil to destroy evil.
Deranda's
If
more of a
faced with an
Suzaku,
evil-
dude.
If faced with an
Exactly.
Deranda's more of a Suzaku. I'd be
Yep.
her alternate, actually.
Uh-huh.
that's
We
not,
would be rivals and
not-
lovers at the same time.
Wait, what? I don't remember that part of the anime.
Well, it's because of like the basis of what we already have. Okay, they were best friends, and we kind of have something. So
How are you guys rivals?
because of the nature of what we're talking about, keep up. Come on, hello.
Oh, if Elevon becomes Lelouch.
Yeah.
If. So basically, Durand is going to be the worst character ever until he's the best character ever.
Right.
That's Suzaku. Suzaku is the worst character, and I hate him until he's the best character, and I love him.
Yep. Yeah.
Should be fun. Can't wait to see what Gios Nemo has in mind.
Oh lord.
Her eyes start to change colors. Just one, though.
It becomes permanent. Eventually, she just can't help it. She'll do it to
should become
everybody.
permanent, yeah. Yeah. Some like fey marking or something like that. Or like a moon, like the pupil is like a crescent moon or something.
Hmm.
Alright, good night, guys.
Good night.
Night.